Howdy folks, Keywii here, and welcome back to Analogue, a hate story, where I am just here doing nothing, basically. So what I'm going to do is, last while, I went through and I read all these, and I showed them to the mute AI, but now I want to show them to Hyun Ai, see what she has to say about them. So, I've read all of these. I'm curious what you have to say on the map. Oh, so you've read those then? Not that it would seem, not that it was seen appropriate for women to spend time with anyone but other women, or anything, but, so, why are you showing this to me? Hear what you think. Well, why do you ask? Do you, approve of that sort of thing? I mean, I do, personally. I see. Well, it's... When she said she wanted to be seduced, I can definitely really understand that. Especially if it was you. What? What? Especially if it was someone I really liked. That sounds like a good thing to me. Right, it's a visual novel. I have to date somebody, don't I? Okay. Not that I could really imagine doing that with any of my servants, but I... Geez, why are we even talking about something this embarrassing? Can we please talk about something else? Oh, so you don't want to go through these messages then, huh? Okay, alright, alright. What about this one? This is in the same chain. You got more to say? I said I don't really want to talk about this more, alright? I mean, alright, fine, fine, fine. We will not talk about it some more. It seems you do not wish to do so. What about Block 4? I'm not sure I showed this sort of stuff to you. I didn't. Then he falls in decline. I want to be perfect here. Why? Are the biggest okay, so we're not talking about the same thing. Smith saying Hyun. I don't really know how I feel about him. I don't, know. It doesn't really sound like anyone thought he was a good person. It looks like he never married or anything. I guess he was friends with Mute? Well, that doesn't surprise me. He just seems weird, like it sounds like Sojin was kind of off-put by him. I don't really blame her. I don't know, I have no idea how to judge him. See for yourself, I guess. I've added a few more things about him. Oh! Have you? I don't know. What's new? It's all in Block 3, which I have yet to actually read. So... Yeah, stuff like this I have yet to actually read. Sure, let's take a look at you. These past few months have left me very anxious with anticipation. Nearly a year has passed since the wedding ceremony, and before this week, Sang Ming had only visited my family once, promising he would bring me home with him for sure the next time. I know I'm supposed to be enjoying living with my parents while it lasts, but all I can think about is my husband. How is a new bride expected to have such patience? For nearly a year, a day hasn't gone by where I haven't thought of how beautiful he thought of me in my wedding dress, or how it felt spending the night held so gently in his strong arms. Hans. Looking forward to the day where I could live in his house. I can't help but feel anxious in my heart, as I'm excited in my hips. Weird comment. I know it is ungrateful to think such things, but how can I help myself? Well, my comment on this is that if you were of normal, in my opinion, age to be married, then you wouldn't be living with your parents. Let's see. In any event, he arrived yesterday to take me with him to his ancestral shrine, and then finally his home. Such luxury I've never seen in my life. A servant to prepare meals, a entirely separate women's quarters, and a dining room with a window that shows the stars? My family was hardly all that poor, but a window to the stars. How amazing a sight! I knew that I was lucky to have been married into a noble family, but I never realized just how lucky. Oh, you got something to say. I wonder if I'll have time to write as much as I used to. Oh, but I must stop for tonight. Now, I can hear my husband coming. I've been looking forward to this night for so long. How I hope I can make him happy. Just hearing his footsteps outside the door makes my heart pound. Okay. Say, I just had a thought. It's a little bit silly to keep this whole pretense with the schoolgirl librarian look, don't you think? I mean, not really, but also I'm just genuinely indifferent to the concept. What are you supposed to look like? Yeah. Well, I was just thinking, you know, I've always been into cosplay. Sure! Fucking play it up. I have a Portal cosplay in the room. It's also my Halloween outfit. I got the fucking Aperture Science Laboratories shirt. I got, you know, the orange shorts and orange overshirt. I've actually designed a bunch of other outfits, too. Now that I'm saying this, I guess it's a little bit awkward, but would you like to see? Sure. I have no real opinion. Ah, well, very well. You can use the change outfit command to dress me up if you want. Okay, it just got weird. Jeez, I'm sorry, I'm making this really awkward. It's just that I have a couple that I think are really cute, and you might want to see them. Please don't read into it or anything. It's not like I'm just trying to... God fucking damn it. It's not like I'm just trying to please you or anything. I just think it might be fun, that's all. I like how this exact dialogue box disappeared. She's like, wait, no, I probably shouldn't retract that, and then put it back up for me. Anyway, you don't have to if you don't want to. But it's change outfit if you really are interested. Sorry, it really is a weird thing to ask now that I think about it. Jeez, what am I saying? I just thought maybe you might be interested in that. I am indifferent. Hopefully there's nothing fucking weird. Anyway, I've read this and I'm curious on your thoughts on it, and then I'll try out the whatever thing. Here, I'll go right to the, I was going to say the interesting part, but that's kind of awful, isn't it? I mean, given we're talking about a real person's life here, Jesus, is a bit uncomfortable. Well, what I mean is, she got jaded real quickly. Her family situation sounds like a really awkward arrangement. I'll show you what I mean. Let me know if you're still not sympathetic to her after reading these. I mean, she got married at a young age and moved into the dude's house. I have nothing against her. A proper damn gentleman. Oh! Alright, let's try out the whatever thing. The fucking dress-up game. Here's Override Terminal. Alright, and... Help. Okay. Command. Disable AI. Change outfit. Okay. Change _ outfit. Dresses up Hyun Ai in an alternate outfit. Available costume: schoolgirl, default, handbok, maid, detective, scientist. What is my life right now? What am I fucking doing? Detective, sure. Detective. Oh, well, fucking, okay. Change _ outfit. Space, detective. Cool. Let's see what that looks like. That's pretty neat. Oh, well, the dame was... fucking shut up. Oh, my God. I knew the dame was trouble the moment they connected to my ship. Couldn't say a word, left all the questions to me. Or something like that. So you're interested in cosplay after all. See there, expert detective works on my part. But really, now we both match, don't we? I mean, obviously you're some sort of investigator, so I think this goes well. Right? I mean, what do you think? You make a cute sidekick? That's stupid. Neither of these. Why can't I just be fucking indifferent? God, I hate these games. That's why I don't play them. Oh, well, thank you. If I had to pick, I'd pick her over Mute, but fucking, I don't care. I don't care about shit like this. Visual novels are dumb. Actually, this one is based off a movie I saw as a child. I guess the name doesn't really matter, since it's countless hundreds of years old and all. Anyway, it was my favorite. Movie. What do you look like? What movie? God, it can't be one I've seen. I don't it must be, like, maybe it's Korean or Asian or whatever, but I do not recognize this outfit. I mean, the pipe and maybe the hat might be Sherlock Holmes, but probably a more updated version. I don't really normally like mysteries, but the love story in it was just so wonderful. Well, that, and it had a really cute guy for a hero. Definitely not Sherlock Holmes if it's a love story. Anyway, just like this, and it looked really great. Sidekick, huh? I like that a lot. So, about the whole look, do you really don't mind when a girl dresses and acts more like a guy then? No, I don't mind. Fucking... I like my girls wearing flannel, jeans, and beating me up. Well, I like it. Well, I think it's a really good look, so I'm glad. I don't mind either. You know the part that's really sort of funny? I actually have no idea how an outfit like this is supposed to feel. Oh, because you never wore it in life, only as an AI. Not like emotionally, I mean literally. I have no idea what a suit feels like. What suits feel like. I've never worn them in my life. Well, the chance for that has long disappeared. I mean, I don't know, we could put you in a robotic body that has sensory input. Anyway, I should stop blabbing. I'm just really excited, that's all. I suppose I should really get back to it. Lead on, investigator. Your trusty sidekick will help the best she can. Well, neat. That was neat, I guess. Let's get back to reading. At least I've gotten past the whole fucking weird, fucked up shit, and now it's just sort of, the thing that I'm reading. I like how these games just sort of ruin my life. Can't believe just 2 years ago I was actually excited about moving into the Smith home with my husband. Oh, how shortly that lasted. I find it funny. The first time I realized that I would have to compete for his affections with every common woman and every courtesan he came across, I was so shocked the first time he brought me one home. I cried for a week, and mother-in-law was furious with me, claiming it my fault for not being good enough for him. Now I realize the insanity of her reasoning, as if she wouldn't have already known her son was simply that sort of man. The only person who had any right to be shocked was me. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. It's just like, you're not good enough for my son, that's why he's chasing tail. Just like, no? I mean, maybe, possibly, but highly unlikely. If a guy's gonna cheat, it's most likely because he's a cheater, not because he has a person who isn't good enough. That's probably like 1 in 3,000 is when the woman isn't good enough, so the guy goes elsewhere. All the other times, it's fucking because the dude's a sleazebag. Still, I struggle for his attention, but now it is all but banal. If the truth is to be told, this is something I would not tell mother-in-law, nor mute. At least, of all my husband, I do not even fight for his affections for his own sake. It is pure selfishness on my part. All I wish is for some indicator that it isn't as though I'm unattractive. Oh, excuse me, I'm burping. That it isn't as though I'm unlikable. Any affection he gets is simply an attempt at fishing an affirmation out of him and nothing more. Okay? Sure. A damn proper gentleman. I read that wrong, but whatever. I'm just a wrong reader. You're all grayed out, and I don't know why. A transcript fragment of a conversation held with Smith Sang-young. Oh, that was how I knew... Wait, hang on. Actually, out of curiosity. Oh, okay. So it is just grayed out because... Okay, alright. You know what? That's good, very good information. Even though she's wearing a fucking detective thing, the arrow is grayed out, meaning I don't have anything to say there. Cool. Transcription fragment of conversation held with Smith Sang-young. Oh, that was how I knew shit had gone serious. He actually agreed to let me pick the drinking house he went to. My oldest brother only ever humors me when he's really trying to get on my good side. It's never a good sign. Well, I mean, it's good for me, but certainly not for him. I'm sure a classy lady such as yourself wouldn't be familiar with this kind of place. Haha, no, you know the sort, tucked away in an interior deck. Lots of wood furniture that's been stained and not intentionally. Oh, okay, that was wrong. Wait. If I right-click... Oh, shit! That's a right-click! Oh, I don't have to click on the fucking thing You know what? I'm glad about that. So, let's get back to it. You know the sort, furniture, it's been suited, not intentionally, but with just enough commoners milling about to give a good background track. Oh, and it's run by a woman. Nice lady, too. So that is that sort of place. You know, the place that I don't even know anymore. It was the sort of place that hires women, but like, I don't even know anymore. We arranged to meet up at the door. It's been a while, brother. I'm sorry I couldn't speak to you sooner, he said, trying to be polite. You're full of shit, I said, but hey, it is good to see you. So what do you want? I want you to make a new paragraph for each time a person speaks, with quotations. That's how that works in writing. I didn't get to say that I was about to sneeze. I'm sorry, I sneezed. I meant it, he said. He's a bad, bad liar. So why here anyway? At that point, the owner came by asking what we'd like. The only real thing you need to know about Jin Ai is that she's around my age and she's got the biggest hits I've ever seen in my life, and she dresses like a commoner. Oh, okay. I thought that was part of, dialogue, but... so you can certainly see them. Oh, he said, fair enough. Bring your finest soju, I ordered. Please, she responded. You can't afford our finest. Please, you can't afford our finest. Totally not true, by the way. My reputation for being a cheap drunk, completely unfounded. Honest, I have no idea where people get these crazy ideas from. Anyway, far be it for me to argue. I just reply, maybe not, but my brother can. Maybe because you don't challenge the fucking stereotypes against you, idiot. My brother can. I mean, I knew he was going to ask me for money. That was obvious. Might as well get that as much as I can out of him before giving whatever he wanted, right? I mean, alright, fair enough. You're manipulating. Gotcha. You're just being an idiot. Fine, we'll be sharing that, he said. Then he added, but how much to share it with you, too? She blushed. Amazing, really. She's got a lot of practice dealing with people like my brother. But I saved her the misery of having to flirt back with him. Do you really need more of that kind of trouble right now? With that, he let her go. Anyway, drinks came. We argued about the loose definition of finest, our server's tits, and the good old days when father was still alive and we didn't have to work out our problems ourselves. You know, like human beings. The biggest bullshit ever, I said. Is that what we're expected to be responsible? Is that we're expected to be responsible men here? How'd that happen? He laughed. And was now drunk enough to start taking cheap shots. Is that why you've never bothered to be one? Ouch, I said. Damn it, hurry up and pour me more. I'll drink to that. He poured, but didn't say anything. Alright, so what is it that you want? I'm getting the impression that you have a problem, and you want discretion because you're talking to me. Right, brother? I was right. So where did you put it this time, brother? I asked. But what? He replied. Oh, cut the shit, I said. God, it's so difficult to determine who's talking at any one point. Sometimes it's easy, other times it's fucking confusing. We both know full well that all your problems in life always, without fail, stem from putting your dick somewhere you shouldn't have. He grunted in disagreement, but it's totally true. I mean, you're a fucking asshole writer, so I don't know. Was it at least a female this time? Whoa! Accusations of gayness! Or, actually, no. Could have been bestiality or whatever. Swear to my father, brother was right about to punch me. Didn't, though. Instead, he just downed his drink. Yeah, that's the damn problem, he said. She's saying she hasn't bled in 2 months now. A courtesan. I promised him I'd help, but she gets bought out by me. Better she gets bought out by me than by my brother, the high magistrate. Less suspicious that way, and involves nothing unlawful. Believe me now? A damn proper gentleman. That's me. I keep switching up the words. Okay. For the past 2 months, ever since it became impossible to hide that she was with child, Zhang Mi has been living in our house, and no visitors have been allowed to come in. It has created an incredibly awkward state of affairs. I can hardly stand to be in the same room with that courtesan, let alone live with her. Until recently, so few words have we exchanged, I did not know her name until the 3rd week of her living here. My husband made me... What? I don't know who's talking anymore, apparently. My husband made me agree to go along with the fiction that the child is actually mine, which, well, I've yet to give him one myself, so if that is how I am to make up for it, then that is what I'll do. I thought it was going to be so hard to keep up with that pretense to pretend that this child is my own. Well, the real mother lives under the same roof, yet apparently not. As it turns out, the whole charade has been for absolutely nothing. After all that, the child turned out to be a girl. Of course, I'm sure Zhang Mi is quite happy since she's already been bought out in the hopes that we could pretend her son was mine. But an illegitimate daughter, well, who cares? Who cares about women? Said from a woman. It would almost be funny, if not for the fact that it means... Hang on, I'm checking the time. We're basically done here. It means that I have to live with the constant reminder of how little my husband cares for me, almost, but not really. What do you have to say, friend? So, High Magistrate Smith Sangman, huh? This man is just... Wow, he's a real piece of work. He just could not keep his pants on, it seems. I mean, neglecting his wife so he could get a courtesan pregnant? Wow, that kind of man does that. Please tell me you feel the same. He's awful. At least he's easier on Sojin. Why does it always have to be binary choices? I know, right? The idea of a woman living only for her man is awful, just awful. Well, that I agree with. But there's one thing to make that worse, for the man to just ignore her entirely. Can you imagine living like that, just being kept away in the women's quarters with nobody to care about you in any way? I mean, let's say for a second I was a woman. I can't really interpret that all that well. But just living alone for a while. Currently I got the internet and shit, but I mean, I suppose that'd be bad, I guess. Wouldn't really be worse than... I don't think her marriage was worse than mine, but at least I had something. And didn't have to worry about scandals about to blow up in the family's face. There's one thing that's good about being the Emperor's consort, I guess. So all he ever paid attention to was women who weren't his wife and all of his assorted business. Here, I'll show you what all that is. Looking at this, it feels like he spent more time with his brothers than his wife. Well, okay, so this is filling out. Alright, well, that'll have to be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I, of course, have been Keywii. You've been great, too, and I'm at 32%. Thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye!